Hey everyone, it's Psychic Medium Elizabeth Grove, the Paranormal Priestess, and I'm back. And I thought today that I would share another story for you, a clearing story. For those of you who don't know who I am, yes, I am a psychic medium. I'm an angel communicator, and I'm also what's known as a spirit extractor specialist. So I do this work remotely. I travel via my light body, very high level work. It could be done anywhere in the world, and also counts as a healing, very high level healing work as well. But before partaking in that, becoming a specialist in that, I was doing physical clearings for local families. And this family got in touch with me and they let me know that they were experiencing, of course, very negative, what they believed negative presence, negative activity in their home. They were feeling very anxious, very tense. It was a family that normally would not fight or argue, and they were getting into arguments. And there was also, sickness within the home. So it was just generally like a very negative environment. And they also started to report seeing shadows. So they definitely believed that there was something dark happening within the home, so they wanted me to check it out for them. So of course, I love helping families, and I was very compelled to see if I can help this family out. So I go there and I proceed to do my walkthrough. I like to have as little information as possible. So, whatever the family, does tell me in general, great, but I just don't like to have too much information because I don't like to have that before doing a walkthrough. I like it as clean as I possibly can have it. So I don't want them to tell me where the activity was happening or anything like that. When I go into the house, I immediately feel a sense of tension. It's very dizzying, very ungrounding, and I do feel anxious. I start going towards the hallway. The hallway, it's a very narrow hallway, kind of dark, that leads to the bedrooms. And this is where I really started feeling more of the negative sensations, just feeling just generally very uncomfortable, my chest feeling heavy, just really feeling like that pull in my stomach. So I knew that there was definitely something dark there. And the young woman that was there, that was with me, that was guiding me through the house, she told me that the hallway is usually a place where she'll just run and dart down the hallway and doesn't want to be in it for very long, and she feels like that someone's watching her. And yes, I definitely agreed with that. That's what I picked up as well. So I would travel down this hallway and get to this bedroom. That's where I was drawn. I was drawn immediately all the way down to the very end of the hallway, where this young woman's former bedroom, where she grew up in, was. She actually lived in an apartment upstairs. So this room was being used as a guest room and a room where their grandchild in the home, a little girl, was feeling really, really just didn't want to be there, didn't want to play in there, nothing like that. So when she came over and she visited, she didn't want to be in that room. She was scared of it. And when I get into this story, you'll definitely understand why the little girl was afraid of this. So I enter the bedroom, and when I enter it, definitely I knew that the source of activity was definitely coming from this bedroom. It was just very, very sickening and very heavy. Definitely vertigo kind of feeling and very anxious. I was drawn to one of the closets in the bedroom, so I wanted the young woman to open this closet up right away because I knew something was definitely happening within it. So she goes and she opens the closet, and oh my God, lo and behold, it is just awful. There is a portal coming out of this closet for sure. This is what I saw. And if anyone knows what a clairvoyant is, I'm a clairvoyant, but I have all the rest of the clairs as well. But I'll start having like a movie that's playing in my head. So what I saw was, before I get into the entity that I picked up, I saw that this young woman, this is years back, was partaking in a seance with two of her friends, kind of just fooling around, joking around, asking if there's anyone there, had the candle burning and all of that. And what ended up happening is it actually did invite an entity into their lives and open up a portal in this closet. And what's really funny about this is some people can go on for years with activity, and they'll just kind of just get accustomed to it, not really think or explore it, and then all of a sudden, like, things will end up getting worse. Sometimes these entities will just kind of stay quiet or lay dormant even at times, and then all of a sudden they'll just pick up the volume. There are many different reasons for that. I'll get into that in another video. Renovations is definitely one of them, although this wasn't a renovation case. But the thing is that the activity has definitely picked up, and they couldn't live like this anymore. And so I did see this seance that happened years ago. It did cause this portal to open in the closet. The entity that I picked up that was coming from this closet was what I would call a dark seraphim, which would be a dark angel. What I saw, if anyone watches the show Dead Files on the Travel Channel, it's like very similar to something that Amy Allen might have seen and had someone draw. It was this woman, this is how it looked. A woman almost looked like Samora Morgan from The Ring, with the long, flowing brown hair in front of her face, but she didn't have any arms or legs. She just had a serpentine body. So it was very, very creepy. Definitely very, very creepy, very, very disturbing looking. And what would happen was she would come from the closet portal, she would slither on the ground and crawl underneath the foot of the bed. And I picked up that she would do this nightly, every single night. So I explained this to the young woman. And when I explained this to the young woman, it's like she like turns white almost. About everything that I actually revealed to her, because she said, number one, I never even told my parents about the seance at all. I didn't tell them. And number two, what you just described in detail is exactly a dream that I was having every night for a number of years. So she was pretty taken back by that. So of course, when I explained what I saw and shared that, the family wanted my help. And as a magical practitioner, what I would do is a ceremony or a ritual in order to cross that spirit over or banish that spirit, take that spirit back wherever they come from, wherever they needed to go. So this is what I was going to do. My mother at the time helped me with clearing work in the physical, so she was going to do that with me. I talk with the family, just to see how they feel about everything. I like everyone to be comfortable with me. I let them know there's nothing that I do that's dark or evil or going, to be coming from that side in any way. Because I know sometimes people get very nervous, like if they see a pentacle, or if they hear about a ritual or anything like that, they're like, ooh. But, I try to let them understand where I'm coming from. I'm very down to earth. I work with archangels. I work with Source. I work with my Celtic pantheon of love and light. And, I want them to be comfortable with each and every step that I'd be taking inside of their home. I want them to feel safe. So they were very safe, feeling safe about it and feeling comfortable with me. So then we took it from there. And so then it was time to do the ritual. So I came back second time and brought everything. What I brought would be my candles that I made. I'd bring like my salt, my water, my incense, all the things that I would set up, as far as like the earth religion, to set up the circle. I can tell you that this entity was absolutely not happy. She was not having it that I was there. She was pissed. When I came back, it's hard to describe to you guys, and I think that if I did, it wouldn't really, you guys wouldn't want to hear it, believe me. But she showed me a lot of graphic ways that she wanted to kill me, and I had to do my best to just stay steady and to not let it throw me. what I always suggest to people is, especially if they're going to deal with anything paranormal, supernatural, that, it takes a lot out of you, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. So you have to build your strength in those areas because they absolutely tried to test you. And she was trying to test me and get me to leave. She was just saying a lot of vulgar things to me, showing me how she's going to kill me. And when the young woman was back in the bedroom, to try to prepare everything, so before we go in, there was actually like a toy that went off. And I then heard the entity say, pretty much simultaneously, she said to me, F you. And I was like, oh, I said, okay, guys, we got it. Let's go. Let's get into it. I explained to everyone, you got to be really strong with this one because she is absolutely going to fight us all the way. So we set up like a little makeshift altar and into the circle, called the elements, called the archangels, pantheon, everyone that I work with, my spiritual team. There are two actually really great ways of raising your vibration and protecting yourself. These two I happen to use in this physical clearing. One of them is something that comes from the book of Enoch, the Keys of Enoch. And it's a mantra that can be used as a prayer, and it goes like this: Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sabayot, Hebrew. And what that means is holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. And I had us say this in the circle. And what it does is it really clears your energy out, your aura, and it connects you with your divine self. It's like stepping into your divine essence. So it really raises you all the way up. The other one is, some people mix this up, but I want to just make sure that you guys understand the difference once again. It's the violet fire versus using the violet flame. Now, the violet flame has its use. It has its use in transmuting karma. But the violet fire itself is different. You would call on Archangel Zekiel to help you out with that. And it's that high level fire that is really going to take you all the way up. It's going to protect you. And it's going to get rid of negative energies. So it's really spiritually high level ways of just raising your energy. So we all did this within the circle. And, it was really, really powerful, and we could all feel it. And at that point, I asked my spiritual team, we all did actually, if they could be with us, empower us even more. And then I took us through a series of prayers. At that point, this entity was looking to just do everything possible in order to stop this. And it was, it would be very, very scary to somebody. I stood my ground. Like every time I would get into a line of a prayer, she would make me forget a line of a prayer, or I had my salt and my water, and she would show me, like mocking me, that she was spitting that salt and water back out in my face. So anything to try to distract this whole process, I didn't let it. If I forgot any words of a particular prayer I was using, I just made them up. Because I wanted to make sure that everyone felt strong and safe. They had to feel empowered in this in order for us to truly be successful. So we did this. We felt really high level. There was definitely like a hot, warm energy. We were starting to sweat. I asked my team to please, we asked to remove this entity and to bring her back from the dimension where she came. So, and this took some time to do this. And after that, we went over to the closet, and with this violet fire that we had, we sent her through that portal, and we closed the portal altogether with the violet fire. So, so we really invoked some high level energies before doing this, and it definitely worked, because after that we felt a complete shift in the atmosphere. You can feel that it went from this really hot energy to becoming all of a sudden like cold. So that shift happened. And also too, it wasn't as heavy. Everything felt a lot lighter in the room. So we knew that everything absolutely worked and it was good to go. So we thanked everyone who joined us, the Circle of Light, my spiritual team, and then after that, I did an entire house cleansing, salt, water, herbs, just cleansed everything out and energized it as well, bringing in the light. After I would do a cleansing like that, I always like to speak with the entire family and let them know different ways that they can continue on with cleansing their home and protecting their home. And it's very, very important. I think that's key, because once I leave, it's then up to the homeowner and their family to continue on and find strength in spiritual connection and really take ownership of the energy of their entire family and their space. So I definitely educate in that. Getting back with the family, checking in with them, everything was great. They didn't have a reoccurrence of this entity. The hallway felt fine. No one was running down the hallway, afraid for their life. In fact, the bedroom, which is really interesting, they told me that when the grandchild came over, that she actually wanted to sleep in this room, and she wanted to stay in there and watch TV, and that was like a huge, huge deal, because like I said earlier, she did not want to be in that room at all. And of course, I could understand why. No one experienced any more shadows in that home. Everything was great and everything stood great. And it was just such a wonderful feeling to be able to help a family. So again, this is something that I do as a psychic medium. That is just, nothing beats helping a family, or helping someone who has attachments, who has severe activity, and they just can't deal with it anymore. They don't know who to turn to, and I'm so blessed that if people are guided to me, that I'm able to help them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story. It was definitely something to be there, so I tried to describe it as best I can, but it definitely was an experience I will always remember. You can actually check out the testimonial. There's a testimonial written. The family was kind enough to write it on the paranormalpriestess.com. If you have any questions, comments, if you are interested in my services or anything like that, you can always shoot me an email through the paranormalpriestess.com. I'm usually really fast at getting back to you. It depends on my schedule, but I try my very best. You can always find me on Facebook, on my page, The Paranormal Priestess. I'm on Twitter. I'm always on Twitter. I'm a Twitterholic, if anyone who knows me. So you can follow the show's Twitter at ParaPriestessYT, and I also have my own personal one at Para_Priestess. So definitely on social media. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, guys, and it was great sharing another story with you. And remember, from the heart of the darkness is born the light, and wishing you guys blessings and safety and just light on your journey. Bye for now.